Shalom, this is Rick. Since you are going to be receiving the shofar holders with just the primer on them instead of being fully painted, I wanted to give you a quick overview of some tricks that might make you more successful in painting them. First of all, you'll notice that I have the parts disassembled and sitting on these little what are called painter's points or painter pyramids. It's much easier to paint something when it's laying flat than it is when it's standing up, and might get runs and drips and stuff like that. So when you receive the shofar holder, there will be screws holding it in the back here, right there and right there, and they'll be easy to remove with a Phillips head screwdriver. Also, each of the shofar bases and holders have little dimple marks. In this case, 2 marks there and there, and the other one has 1 mark there and there. And that's to align it so that you get a perfect fit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this out right here, just like that. And now I'm going to spray it with the primer. In this case, I'm using Kills primer, and it's pretty good stuff. And the trick is to put it on thin so that nothing can run. Now, I've already shaken up the can like crazy, and I'll take a little test shot right here to make sure I got good spray. Reasonably good. And now I'm going to go around it and just very lightly spray. And you notice that the primer is kind of gloppy. It's putting spits out there. I'll sand those off. So I'll turn it around here now. And the process will be the same with the actual paint. I would strongly recommend using Rustoleum spray paint. Rustoleum has done a good job for me over the years. And it comes out much neater than this stuff does. But I guess primer's primer. Now what I'll do is let this dry, and then once it's dry, I'll take some 220 sandpaper, knock off the little nibs, and then go over it again. Well, before I do that, I'll actually flip them over and do the back sides. And then after that's dried, then I'll knock off the nibs, go over it again, let it dry very thoroughly, then knock off the nibs. Now, if you're successful with the Rustoleum spray paint, you won't need to do this intermediate sanding type thing. The sanding is mostly because, well, this stuff goes on really gloppy, but also when I first spray the wood, it raises the grain. No matter how nicely you sand it, it still raises up little wood fibers, but it holds them in place real tightly so that then when you sand them off, they don't come back. All right, so I'm just going to let that sit for about 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. Okay, so we're back to put the final coats on, and This is what it looks like right now. It's nicely primed, but I think a little second coat might be nice on it. Now, one thing I did decide to do is to leave the back side natural. It has it's very pretty wood actually, and I just really didn't want to cover up the Aaronic blessing. So to keep any paint from getting on it, what I did was I put some clear packaging tape over the whole surface, and I was trying to figure out how to cut very neatly around the edges. And all of a sudden it occurred to me that it was actually quite simple. Pardon me while I get the piece here. Sorry about that. All I had to do to make it very simple was to take a piece of sandpaper and wrap it around a piece of wood, and then just sand at an angle like this, and that cuts through the packaging tape, and then I can just take the excess off. It's as easy as it could be. So it was easy after I figured it out. First time I'd ever done that. So anyway, that's what they look like. Flip this guy over, and we'll put the second coat on. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, it's more. And then we'll just go over it again. Any spots that look a little bit bare, we get a nice coating on it. Rotate it around. And after I'll let this dry all night, and then I'll very lightly sand it with 220 sandpaper tomorrow. Now, when you paint yours, again, what I'm doing is I'm just going very light, overlapping strokes like that, and you'll probably want to put 2 coats on. I think I had it off so you couldn't see it, darn it. But anyway, just very light coats on it, and it'll be wonderful. And then as soon as this dries, I'll peel that packaging tape off so that it won't stick. And the back side is actually covered with lacquer, coated with 2 coats of lacquer, so it's very well protected also. And there's the hooks over there. And so I think this will be ready to package up and ship off Monday morning. Thanks for all your help and patience. And if you decide you'd like for me to finish painting it myself, which I would actually recommend, let me know. And I've got a lot of different colors of paint up here, all lined up to go. And if you decide to do it yourself, make sure you use the Rustoleum. This is the Rustoleum 2X is a very nice paint. And if you want a metallic finish, I really like this one here. It's Rustoleum metallic. And again, you shake the dickens out of it and you get a really nice finish. So I have on this one, I have the metallic carbon mist. It's it's a nice dark color like that, but it's sort of a metallic color. And then this one is the pearl mist, which is a pearly white color, little metallic tint to it. Up here I have vintage gold, and so it's a very pretty one. This is the one my other customer who wanted the other one of these painted shofar holders wanted to have on hers. So lots of different things that we can do here. But it's been a pleasure dealing with you, working with you, and shalom.